Welcome to the Smiling Sufferer podcast. On the mic, you have Corey.
Hi guys, it's Yeti or Yetune, whatever.
And it's your favorite boy G. I can't hear myself. Oh, please increase my volume.
I can hear you. You increase your volume.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I think I got some static.
Okay, I can hear myself now.
Hey guys, how's it going now? How's your week going?
Oh, it was good.
Good.
No complaints. Yeah.
Wale, Mr. G.
Weekend just started though.
No, I said your week.
Oh, week. It was alright.
Okay.
Could be better.
Did you watch the Chelsea Man U game?
Yeah, some people were lucky to get a draw.
Lucky? Nah, I don't know about lucky.
Oh wait, you're all Chelsea. I just noticed.
Yeah,
you're all Chelsea.
If you can't see, let me describe.
Chelsea hat.
First of all, he's wearing like a dad hat, like Chelsea.
Seriously.
Hat. And then he has this sweater that you know he probably got like 5-6 years ago. It says Chelsea on the hoodie.
You got jokes.
And then he has some Yeezys on. I'm kind of suspecting. Looks fake though.
It looks like such a white jokes. Dad. For real. That's not how you wear the Yeezys, Corey.
How do you wear the Yeezys?
Not like that.
So what am I supposed to wear them on?
I don't even know.
By the way, they're very comfortable. I feel like I'm floating on air.
Like, imagine how comfortable the real ones are.
You got jokes.
And is it supposed to be like yellow, like white, like this? It looks.
It's off-white, Yeti.
All right.
Off-white.
It looks like you've been in some Uganda dust, like where he took give those kids.
Yeah, were you one of those kids?
I've been through some Niger dust or something. What's going on?
All right, so let's get right into it, man. Well, first of all, do you guys have any topics that you wanted to throw out there?
No.
Before I get into it?
Go ahead.
All right, because I'm going to get right into it.
Okay, we've heard you.
So last week, right? I know we had this debate where we were discussing police brutality, and there were some comments that were made that I wasn't really able to respond to, and I figured, okay, because Wale had mentioned something about some lady in New York who got her ass, who accused some 9-year-old kid of grabbing her ass and ended up calling the cops. It was a very, very silly instance.
She was the silly one, right?
No, she was.
Yeah.
She was. But I wanted us to kind of like, because I've noticed what people do is they see these 2-minute clips and they rush to judgment. I'm not saying she didn't do anything wrong, but I feel like sometimes we need to build, if we're going to bring things like this to the court of public opinion, I feel like the least you can do is have some level of due process. So that's why I wanted to kind of go through some of
process and public opinion.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
No, I think it's, you know why? Because people wind up losing their jobs. People's lives end up getting destroyed as a result of the public outcry.
That will get you to lose your job.
No, but
like
then,
this lady that called the cops on this little boy.
Okay.
Why would you even call a cop on a 9-year-old kid? Like, okay, let's say I was the girl that got my ass grabbed. Yeah. I will go up to him and say, "Nigga, look here." Or where's his mother or something?
Look.
And I'll tell him, what are you doing? A 9-year-old child should not get the cops called on him.
But then you also have people saying, believe all women.
Yeah. Listen to all women. But there was proof.
That's not what was going on during the Kavanaugh hearings. It was believe all women.
How is that related to this?
And you know what? Even you believed Christine Ford, because
her testimony was very compelling, and this one's testimony was not compelling.
So, and I'm not trying to draw comparisons because it's two different things, but I wanted us to kind of like just look through every one of them. Well, let's start with.
Let me ask you a question. Yes. If there was no, this is for Yeti. First of all, I think the woman deserved everything and more that came to her. But if there was no video,
woman?
This
New York woman.
Is she from New York?
Yeah. But nothing happened to her. She didn't lose her job.
I just mean the
Cornerstore.
But she did lose her job. Her name is, they call it the Cornerstore Caroline.
Yeah, Cornerstore Caroline.
Cornerstore Caroline.
She lost
if there was no video
evidence,
no, she did lose her job.
And I don't think she should lose her job, but like obviously I like the backlash she's getting. It's just because next time people, even if the guy, like, first of all, he didn't grab. It was
okay. So what happened?
But before we go there, but anyways, back to what you said about the testimony. If there was no video evidence, what would you have believed her?
No. Well, maybe.
Why?
But I would say,
why
though,
would you believe
listen.
So you see why we need to have some kind of due process before the outcry.
In this case, if there was no video evidence or whatever, I would believe her and say, okay, but it's a child. Kids don't know any better. That's your job as an adult.
I agree.
To go and talk to the parents and tell her this is what your child did and let her handle it.
But why would you believe her without giving the child the benefit of the doubt?
Oh well, and we will ask the kid and say what happened.
Okay,
and if he says he didn't do it.
What if it was a 30-year-old man that the same thing happened?
I don't know. Well, it's a case by case basis.
But you see why I said that we need to have some. If we're gonna bring these things to the court of public opinion, then we need to have some type of analytical way of dissecting each and every one of these cases and judging them on their own basis.
But it's a case by case basis. Yes. We can't do.
But I think we're all in agreement that Cornerstore Carolyn was an idiot.
She was a crazy woman.
Plus, she was a cop.
She wasn't. She claimed she wasn't. She was a cop. No, she lied. The woman lied.
She was lying the whole time.
She wasn't a cop.
But I do want to mention that everyone that was in that vicinity was against the woman. So it wasn't like as if people were coming
to her defense.
To her defense. So people did do the right thing.
And she traumatized the poor kid. You saw how he was crying. Like the boy was so
She's
hurt.
an idiot. But did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Now, one thing I did notice about the video is, even though I don't think the woman was necessarily lying when she felt like someone grabbed her ass. She felt something. She didn't see what happened.
But she felt it.
Yeah, she didn't see what happened. But I saw the clip, and the way it happened so quickly.
She turned back, like, what happened?
And the minute she turned back,
she saw the boy walking.
Right. And they were right when they said it was actually the bag.
Yeah, it was his bag. You could see
that hit her. So we all agree
because his hand was holding his back, like his other thing he bought.
Yes,
his hands were not even free to grab anybody's butt.
And I agree.
And even if I'm sorry, he's a kid. Kids should know better. I mean, he's a 9-year-old kid.
You weren't saying the same thing about XXX Tentacion.
He wasn't 9 years old.
Well, he was still a
17.
kid, technically. But
you know better at 17, but okay. It's not the same thing, Corey.
It's not the same thing, but...
You know better about what?
About grabbing people's butt by 17.
No, I'm saying... No, sorry. You're saying he should know better.
Oh, no. I said he doesn't know any better at 9 years old. I feel like we should give kids more benefit of the doubt than we should give adults.
I think we should give all kids more benefit of the doubt.
Yes,
including 17-year-olds.
Okay.
No.
But anyway... I don't agree with that.
So we're done with Cornerstore Carolyn. The next one
sorry,
is...
Sorry. But that's the... Why are we just saying... Why can't you give everybody the benefit of the doubt? Like... He wasn't a grab.
Right.
It was a graze.
Yes.
Sure.
His backpack
even if that was,
it wasn't even his hand.
There was no backpack. Even if that was a grown ass man.
Why are you grabbing my ass as a grown ass man?
No, let me finish. And he grazed her.
Right.
I think the first thing for her to do is assess the situation and say, hey, did you just graze me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so we can't just say because he's a kid is the reason why she should give him the benefit. You can give, because truthfully, we're here saying 9. I just asked you if it was a 30-year-old man.
It could have happened to anybody.
Well, if a 30-year-old man grazed me and was just walking innocently, I wouldn't. You have to,
but that's the same thing. The boy was anybody that grazed. Even that's what I'm saying. At any situation, you need to just be like, oh, fam, did you just touch me? And then from there, move forward. Not just feel, oh my God, you just grabbed my ass. No.
Well,
so give everybody benefit of doubt.
Yeah.
Unless if it was a physical
grab,
right, the head, then you know that
a grab
was a
different thing, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the kid didn't even. How did she say he grabbed her when he just brushed past her?
So let's move on to the next docket. Hallway Hillary.
Oh gosh. What about her?
There's a bunch of these. There's Hallway Hillary. There's Golf Cart Gail. There's the internet is full of. But let's look at Hallway Hillary, because I felt like Hallway Hillary's own went a little bit too far in terms of the outcry and the reaction.
How?
And I'll tell you why. She did lose her job.
Okay.
She did lose her job.
She deserves whatever she gets. I'm sorry.
So here's what happened, right? This lady that lives in this apartment building, she goes out to walk a dog. She opens the door for her dog to take a pee. Some guy
was coming.
A black man comes in, decides he wants to enter. She tells him, no, use your FOB.
She didn't say that.
She did.
She just says, do you live? She didn't say that. She just said,
do
you live here?
It's a key fob. Which one's FOB?
Key fob. I thought, I've been calling it FOB this whole time.
All she had to do to avoid this whole situation. Let me finish, please. She could have just stepped aside and let the door close and then let him use his key fob. That was it. That was all.
Did you watch the video? Because I watched the video.
I didn't. Yeah.
She asked him to use his
after she was already standing there, and no, she said, "Let me see your key fob," and he said, "I don't have to show you." Why does he have to show her? She doesn't
She's not the police,
own.
it's not the
She's not a
authority.
police. Exactly. What?
No,
I wish
okay.
someone would tell me my apartment to
Show me your key fob. No, all she had to do was say, "I'm stepping aside." Close the door, and then you open your key with your key fob or whatever. That's all she had to do.
Okay, but
not
she
be
didn't.
the police.
Okay, so because and here is what I really want to get into, right? You do understand the security implications of letting
She didn't have to let him in.
No, let me finish. But you understand the security implications of letting people in after you, right?
Right.
Without them
I understand
using
that. We have the same
key fob.
policy at work.
I'll tell you, at my
in.
job, right? There was a
Right.
time that I left. The lady, the security lady,
snitch.
the lady, she knew who I was. She greets me all the time. She knew exactly who I was. It turns out I actually left without my pass. When I tried to get back in,
She would let you in.
she knew I was there. She didn't let me in.
Okay, she was doing her job.
She
that-
But she was authority. She was the person that was in charge of doing
No,
that.
it
She's
applies to
security.
everybody. It's not just security. Even as an employee, you're not allowed to let anyone.
Okay.
You can lose your job
Yeah, okay.
as a result. It's
So
it's
what's
the
your
same.
point in this
It's, let
situation?
me
But
finish.
it's not
Let
a
me
job.
finish.
This-
I
was
let
this
you.
a job?
No,
Let
it
me
was
finish.
apartment building
It's
that
the
they
same
lived in.
security protocols they use for everywhere, even apartment complexes. You're not allowed to let people
Yeah.
people
let's
that
say
are
that.
not-
they're
Correct.
not
Yeah.
unless they use their stuff.
Okay, but
So-
he could have used his stuff. He had it in his hand. He was going to. If she wasn't standing right there, he would have.
He was.
Yeah.
And how do you know he was going
key
to?
fob in his hand.
But this is
What?
no. Corey,
She blocked the door. No, can I?
Why did she block the door? It's my whole point. She didn't have to do all that. She went too crazy. What are you doing?
Let me finish though. You do understand that it's policy. It's in
Wait,
most
let me ask.
apartment
Sorry,
buildings. You're not allowed
does she
to let
work there or
any-
does she live
She
there?
lives
lives
there.
there.
But
Okay,
even as a
so-
tenant,
so
even as a tenant,
Corey,
you're not allowed to
Corey,
let people
I
get
can
in.
I can walk down. So like in my apartment, leasing like the mailbox is on the first floor. So like sometimes I come down the stairs, and when you come down the main stairs, you can see the main entrance. And sometimes I see people waiting in that space between like the door and then
Yes.
the other door, and I just do like I don't see them.
Yeah.
But if I'm walking in or I'm about to leave, I'm not going to pause and be like, let me see if they open the door first. I'll open the door. If you walk in, you walk in. I'm not going to go out of my way to prevent you from going inside. And if we're saying she has a right to do this, then we'll say that the guy at the long time ago, the lady that was at the pool, community pool,
Yes.
the guy that was asking her to showcase her pass to make sure she's allowed to be there, then we're saying he's right too.
But he
Why is he he wasn't. He called the cops and he lost his job, and I'm glad he did, because he was policing a black woman in a community pool. Who are you to tell who to use the community pool?
So let me ask you something.
So you
right?
can't be asking people,
Let me
you
ask
don't work
something,
there.
right?
If you work there, I understand.
So
If
let
it's
me ask you
security, I would
something,
understand.
right? If it happened to be a black lady that did that,
Still, same thing.
Same
She's an
thing.
asshole.
Right.
but
What
would
is
it
she
have made her
doing?
a racist?
I would have made her.
No. Well,
black. You know, black people
Because
can't
I
be
told you
racist.
She
about
made
I told you
right.
about the security guard. So
Right,
you feel
right.
like
But
the security
she was
guard
doing
was
her
being-
job.
No,
Correct.
it is everyone's. It's not just her
Corey,
job. It is even
They tell you to be
employees
vigilant.
are not
No,
allowed.
Corey, forget office.
It's a security
in your apartment. They
protocol.
tell you to be. Obviously, you got to be
Be
vigilant.
vigilant.
But it's
Right.
not your job to enforce.
Enforce
No, you
rules.
can't
Right.
enter here
What?
without
You
the key
can't
fob.
enforce
I've seen
anything.
trying to
Fair.
enter from the garage. I've
Fair.
seen somebody rather than open the door for me,
So-
closed it.
So
Right.
my
And I was
question
like,
is,
and that was
Cool.
all she had.
That's all you had to do.
That
So-
was all she had to
and I was
do.
like, cool.
we all agree that this girl was being overzealous.
She was.
She was
I
doing
She was
too much.
doing too much.
She was doing way
She
too
was
much
doing too
because
much.
he was a black
But
guy.
my question, but my
okay.
question is, how do you arrive at the fact that because he was a black guy,
Because
why
it
she
happened
was
to a
doing
black
that?
guy.
Why?
Because right.
So what if it happened? So what if it was another
And
white
also, she
person
was
that it happened to?
saying, wait.
How do you
Corey.
draw that
Wait,
conclusion
wait.
that it's because it was a black guy?
Corey, because there's a stigma around.
Right.
Like, even let
You
me
know
tell
you
you.
have
Let
to
me. There's a
use the
stigma.
societal
yeah.
thing now.
There's
Come
a
What
on.
stigma
societal
around
thing?
it.
Okay.
What? No, you see, and that's what I'm saying. I feel
Unfortunately-
like we look at these things through a racial lens.
I'm not going to call her. I'm not going to call her racist off
I
the top
am.
of my head because of that. But I'm going to say she's an asshole.
Yes, she is an asshole. She's an overzealous.
And unfortunately,
tenant.
yeah, you might.
There are a lot of
but
them.
the reason people make this conclusion about race is because it always happens
To the same
black
people over
at
and
the
over
same
So
thing
it-
without.
so it never. So you're saying it never
I didn't
happens
say-
to.
I didn't- in that even the white
So what
people
are we
happens to. Watch them. They're usually white trash looking people.
So-
They stereotype them too.
Duh.
So-
Corey,
it's the
why you
same
acting
thing.
You don't
No,
know this?
because
the
I'm
same
trying to
thing
make
too.
a point about why you are making it
So-
a racial thing. Because the reason why, what I think is, when you make it a racial thing, I feel like you
Corey,
are
she
are
looked at
applying
it.
your bias.
Corey, if that
to
was
it.
it,
That's
if
not
that
true.
was
Yes,
it,
you are because
Okay.
because like I said, when I asked you if this girl
Would
happened
she
to be a
have
black
done
girl,
it would she, this Hillary girl,
But black
have
people
done it
too.
to
Black
white,
people
another
too.
white
Black
woman
people too
or white
discriminate
man?
each other.
how
though.
do you know she wouldn't have done it?
I don't think
But Corey,
so,
black
You
people
don't think so?
discriminate
and what
each
she
other.
said
So you see
was-
what I'm saying about
she
public
said-
opinion
Let me
here?
finish. I'm going by what she said. She said, I've never seen you. The apartment as big as that? You know everybody that lives in your apartment. Really? That's what she said. Like,
Did she lose anything?
Yeah, she lost her job.
Okay, if that was, let me say my own thing. If that was a black woman too, I would like her to get the same treatment as
to lose her job.
If that's the case, if you're being an asshole about it, yeah, if and your job
So,
feels
so if you're being a
and your job feels that,
so your standard now is
why is
that
that job?
if you're an
But if
asshole,
your job feels
you deserve to lose your job.
Cornerstore, whatever, did she lose her job? If your job
No, she
feels,
didn't.
that's what I'm saying now.
But
If your
the
job
job's
feels,
prerogative.
We're talking about hallway Hillary here.
yeah. So
Yeah,
if
but that's
But do you know
Hallway
why?
prerogative
But do you know
to
why
do
she
that.
loses? But do you know why she lost her job?
Why?
Because of the public outcry that basically declared that she was being a racist.
yeah, and the judge did, and
okay,
they
they
probably thought
judged
she
it based
was.
on what they wanted. They didn't have
Not
to
my
fire
business.
her.
How
What?
do you
But
understand
that's
how
not my
mob rules
business. Now
work?
that's the
right.
job.
Can you
That's the
imagine
That's
if
the
Twitter?
job.
Can you imagine if Twitter was the one deciding who was being racist? and
Well,
who
the
wasn't?
job,
But
the
the
job
job
allowed it.
decided that.
They allowed Twitter to
Corey,
Oh,
decide.
do you know what happens to these people?
What?
People actually reach out to their jobs and tell them to get
do you know?
fired.
Do you know what? Do you know
But the
what?
job's
Do you think that's
prerogative to
fair?
fire and not
But
to
do you know
fire
what?
them. You
It's
know
not-
that,
it's
Corey,
right?
do you know what?
public
But do you know
outcry.
what? The job can ignore it.
Exactly.
Next
How
week,
many
nobody's
jobs?
talking
You know
about
how
Public
many-
pressure.
Yes,
Next week,
there are other
nobody's
jobs
talking
that
about
didn't fire people.
Corey, next
yes.
week, nobody's
You guys
talking
are
about
that,
hallway.
The
permits,
Charlottesville,
whatever, all of them, nobody's talking about them anymore.
protest. A lot of people didn't get fired, and I feel like they were even worse. Jobs new, and they just look the other way. There's
Yeah,
so many.
let's
So
not
please, it's the
conflate-
job. No.
let's not conflate Charlottesville.
Corey, and I'm saying because they.
Let's not
Can I
conflict
finish?
Charlottesville. This is an asshole here
Can I
that we're talking
finish,
about.
please? Thank you.
You have no
Okay,
evidence that
since
she's a
you wanna keep talking,
racist.
go ahead.
You have no evidence that she's a racist, and I'm just trying to understand why you think it's justified for someone to lose their job because they were being an asshole outside of their job. You think it's okay, and here's my thing: if it happened to be the same races that this thing happened to, you don't know if you feel the same way.
Are you done? Because you were interrupted. You
I wasn't interrupting. You didn't let me finish. I never got my word in.
Okay.
But finish.
Now you're done. Thank you.
Yeah.
The people in Charlottesville that were obviously racist.
This is not Charlottesville. This is an asshole.
Can I finish? You keep interrupting me, Corey. They were obviously racist. Obviously. That's what they went there for. Let me finish. The jobs, a lot of them didn't get fired because it's the job's prerogative. All I'm trying to say is your job has a prerogative to fire you or not fire you.
How do you know a lot of,
And
I don't
the
know.
job
Have you
didn't.
followed up with everyone? Have you done investigation?
Actually, some people actually called the jobs like you said, and they didn't get fired.
But
there were actual reports that said so, Corey.
But you can see there's a problem with when these things happen, and we look at these too many clips online, and people rush to judgment, and we conclude that this person is a racist and they deserve to lose their job. You see why it can be a problem. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to.
They deserve to lose their job.
No, but that's what.
If the job feels they deserve it, then that's their job. That's their prerogative.
I don't think you understand how online mob mentality works. They have you heard of doxing? Have you heard of when they say they dox people?
Corey, the jobs can
where people find out people's personal lives.
You don't put it out there now.
What do you mean? No. Doxing, you don't necessarily put it out there. People actually go online and pretty much hack you and find out where you live, where you work. This is what happens to these people because of the public outcry. I don't want us to just dismiss it and act like, look, I get it that she was being an asshole, but here's the thing: I feel like we have to draw a line in terms of. Says me is my opinion.
Okay, that you have to draw a line.
I feel like you have to draw a line in terms of when we attack people personally, because it can happen to anybody.
Yeah,
well, it can happen to you
happen
too.
To me. Yeah, sure.
It can happen to anybody. Where something happens, there's a 2-minute clip. There's no context, nothing. People rush to judgment. Let's move on to the next one.
What? Dude,
Roseanne.
You lay your bed, you lie on top of it.
Abi,
Roseanne.
thank you. Actions have consequences. Yes.
No.
Action
Those actions, those
consequences.
consequences are way too ridiculous. By the way, it actually turned out that this woman actually happens to be married to a black person.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
That doesn't mean.
Oh, so that doesn't matter. But then
right.
because you see this woman act like an asshole for 2 minutes,
racist. I never
you
said
concluded
she was a racist. I
no,
just said
but
she was an
but she
asshole.
lost her job because she was perceived to be a racist.
Well, like
she
I
lost her
said,
job because
Corey,
she was perceived to be a racist.
If I'm in a workplace, if I'm the one hiring HR, whatever, I was in charge of that, my investigation will go beyond you
Public
saying you have a
opinion.
public opinion. You
Exactly.
saying you
What?
have. How do we know
Do
that
you
she has not been getting
understand
complaints before? How do you know that?